Today, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 Leeds United players so far this season. Alright guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. Before we get into the ranking, be sure to smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this. Let's go for 250 likes. Also, I can maybe do some of these sort of ranking tier lists with other content creators. So if you do want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. And also, let me know your top 10s in the comments down below. Let's get into this. Before I do start this, I do want to say that all of these players that I've got on the top 10 list have had bad games. Leeds are sitting 16th, not 6th, okay? They've all had pretty bad games, but before I get to the top 10 as well, I want to do 2 honourable mentions. So let's get into that, shall we? Right, so just missing out on the top 10, I've got 2 players here, and that's Brendan Aronson and Sean Longstaff. We'll start off with Sean Longstaff. I've got some notes down here. Obviously, Sean Longstaff is a solid Premier League player. He has been injured, and what I find with Longstaff, the reason he hasn't made the top 10 is he can be good, really good in one game and really just not into it in another game. I do like Longstaff. I think it's a solid signing, but he doesn't make the top 10. I'm sorry, Sean. And Brendan Aronson, the thing is with Brendan Aronson, he changed the game, I thought, versus Liverpool when he came on. He had his best game in a Leeds shirt against West Ham this season. You know, he's joint top assister for Leeds United this season, arguably only with 2 assists. But similarly, I don't think Brendan Aronson's been terrible. I think he'll work better in the 3-5-2 system or bringing him off the bench. I think it can work for Brendan Aronson. But for me, just because of the bad games to good games ratio, he does miss out on the top 10. So now let's get into the top 10. And wow, this was difficult to do. So I'm going to start off with number 10, and we're going to go with Pascal Struijk. Okay, for me, he is underrated in that back 3. His man-to-man marking in this system recently has been very, very good. Going out to that midfielder, and you can drop Jacobiol and Joe Rodon in the back too. The relationship with Rodon as well just hasn't really been broken since the championship. I do prefer having Pascal at the back. Now, obviously, we play 3 at the back, so it does work a lot easier, but I preferred him over Jacobiol, and I don't believe I could put Biol into this top 10 or even into the honourable mentions because he hasn't played too much. Obviously, we've only seen this back through of Biol in it the last 3 games. I do think it's worked, and I do think he looks solid. But for the whole season, he's not getting into the top 10. But for me, Pascal has done decent, and he goes 10th. Number 9, I'm going for Noah Okafor. For me, I do actually believe on his day, he is Leeds United's best player. Like, technically, skill-wise, attacking-wise, Okafor is our best player. He can change games. For me, he needs to add more goals and assists into his game. I believe he's only got 1 goal and 1 assist, maybe, or maybe he's got 2 goals and 1 assist. He does lose the ball a bit too often. Like I said, the people in this top 10 list aren't perfect. Of course, they're not. Leeds aren't, high flying. We're just out of the relegation zone. So this was hard to do. But when Noah Okafor's on it, he is really on it. And it's going to struggle maybe to work in this 3-5-2 because obviously he likes to play out and out on the wing. He can play up front or just behind the striker. I think it did work, against Liverpool and against Chelsea. It was working, but I still think he's better on the wings. I still think he's got better games to come, but arguably on his day, he is Leeds United's best player. Number 8, I've gone for Tanaka, and the thing is, the Chelsea and Liverpool game alone, recency biased, he was brilliant, wasn't he? He got crucial goals, and Leeds United do look better with him in the side, is what I've got down here. I think his season starts now. I think he's taken a bit of time to adapt into the Premier League, but Tanaka, for me, Leeds United look a lot better when he's in that midfield. And I just think for £3 million, what we got him for in the Championship, he was the Championship best player. He's come into the Premier League. It's taken him a bit of time. But the last few games, Tanaka has looked brilliant and he looks undroppable. And that's why he's not that low down. He's not getting close into that top 5 only because he hasn't done it all season. He's starting to kick on now. And I can't wait to see what Tanaka brings for the rest of the Premier League season. Number 7, I've gone for Anton Stack. Anton Stack, for me, when you watch him, he's running the most in the team. He is solid. He's been a solid signing. He's been our 2nd or 3rd best signing for me. There's a couple more signings up in the top 10 list that I think are a little bit better than Anton Stack. There is some games that he does look a little bit lost. I'd argue that. But when he chips in with the goals and the assists, and his decision-making has been brilliant. That game against Wolves alone, that free kick against Wolves alone was brilliant. His goal against Liverpool as well. He does create a lot of chances for Leeds United. And I think as a midfield, runner, I think he's very good being that box-to-box midfielder. He wins headers. He's physical. I'm a massive fan of Anton Stack, and there's a reason Daniel Farke wanted him for so long, because he's a solid player and he makes up that midfield. I think it's good when we've got options of Longstaff. I know not now because he's injured, but Longstaff, Tanaka, Stack, Ampadu. You know, we've got people in the midfield who can come in and do a job. And I think Stack's doing it perfectly. So he makes up the number 7 in the top 10 list. Number 6, I've gone for Lucas Mecha. He's the joint top goal scorer with 4, arguably. Yes, I know. He's quicker than I thought he was. He always gives his all. And also, you got to add to the list that he was free. He was free for Leeds United. I personally really like him. I think he could have got a lot more goals. The goals he actually scored against Chelsea, or the goal he scored against Chelsea that didn't count, was just a lovely goal. Yes, his goals this season have been a penalty, a missed penalty, then tap in, a goal that he didn't even realise hit him and it went in. But he scored a lovely goal against Nottingham Forest. But either way, I think Mecha is one of them strikers, again, that just probably deserves more than he's got this season. I think he's been solid. And to get him in on a free, I think he's been a brilliant striker. I think a lot of fans looked at this and thought, this is a terrible signing, or it's quite an underwhelming signing. But I think he's come in and he works in this 3-5-2 with Dominic Calvert Lewin. I think Lucas Mecha has been brilliant, and he goes into number 6. So we're getting into the top 5 now. And number 5 for me, this one, I mean, the whole top 5 was difficult to do, really. But the number 5, I've gone for Jayden Bogle. I think he's adjusted to the Premier League brilliantly. I think he's just, he's always up and down, especially now in this 3-5-2. He basically plays as a winger. He's a goal threat. He's taken big wingers out of games. The likes of Jeremy Doku. I think he did struggle a little bit against Garnacho in recent weeks. But the only game all this side has looked terrible in is probably that Arsenal game. A couple of games like Brighton and Forest, we didn't look up to it, but especially Bogle. Bogle has adjusted to the Premier League brilliantly. Again, he was criticised for his terrible sort of season with Sheffield United last time he was in the Premier League, but actually I think he's adjusted brilliantly, and Bogle could have easily made sort of any part of the top 5, really. I think he's been solid, but arguably there's just 4 better players than him. And let's get into that now. Number 4, I've gone for DCL, Dominic Calvert Lewin. He's changed the way Leeds play, and I think that in itself deserves to be in the top 5. He, again, is the joint top goal scorer with 4 goals. Also, he was free. And I think you've really got to put that into consideration. He was free. His hold up, he bullies centre-backs. And if he stays fit, and he has been staying fit, he's been the number 1 striker for Leeds United. Yes, he works better in this 3-5-2. A lot of these players do. But yeah, I think Dominic Calvert Lewin, I think it was harsh when he hadn't had a goal for so long. He scored against Wolves. He scored against Man City. He scored against good sides. And I mean, not Wolves, but either way, Dominic Calvert Lewin, I think I've been really impressed with him. And he is the sort of striker that Leeds United needed. When Farke spoke about being more physical in the Premier League, when you think of physical, tall strikers that bully defenders, you think of Dominic Calvert Lewin. And another one that I was skeptical about, definitely skeptical about it. And he's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed watching Dominic Calvert Lewin in a Leeds United shirt. Now let's get on to the top 3. Again, remember, let me know your top 10 lists in the comments down below. Number 3, I've gone for the skipper. I've gone for Ethan Ampadu. Again, the skipper, physical, the passion, the passing that we're seeing from Ethan Ampadu in recent weeks, or this season so far. I just love him. He's a leader we haven't had in a long time. I thought he was brilliant in the Championship for the last 2 seasons. Come up to the Premier League. He gets what Leeds is all about. He also gets stuck in on big midfielders. I think he's quality on the ball as well. Of course, like I've said to all these players, they've had bad games. Ampadu is a fan favourite, and I like to call out fan favourites because sometimes they're not putting in solid performances. But recently, this whole team has turned things around, and Ampadu has looked solid in that midfield. I think he's been absolutely brilliant and one of the consistent heads this year. Obviously, he's played most every game, I reckon. So, without doing the research that a Leeds United YouTuber should be doing, Ethan Ampadu has just been solid, and I love him. I think he goes well underappreciated in that midfield. And yeah, Ethan Ampadu's number 3 for me. So who's 2 better than Ethan Ampadu? Well, number 2 is signing of the season, Gabriel Goodmanson. He's up and down on the wing, similar to Bogle, but I think I like him a little bit more. He should have more assists. just from the likes, when he goes on their mazy runs in games where he just takes it past and you're thinking, go on, pass it now. And he runs through everyone, squares it, and no one's there. The amount of times that Goodmanson should have had an assist, I think he's the best left back that I've maybe watched in my lifetime for Leeds. I'm a lot younger than maybe you guys watching this. I think he's up there, definitely. I've only had the likes of Lawrence de Bock and, Borthwick Jackson and things like that. So Gabriel Goodmanson looks decent to me. And I think he's adjusting to the Premier League brilliantly. He's definitely been Leeds United's signing of the season for me. I think he gives it his all every game. I think I'm so unlucky, some mistakes that come down his side. That's probably why he hasn't gone number one for me. It's not all his fault. Obviously, the costly mistake, I think it was against Bournemouth, close into the season or the start of the season. It was disappointing to see. But Gabriel Goodmanson, I think he's so solid. I think he's really technical on the ball. I think he gets up and down. I think he defends one-on-one brilliantly. He gets really close to his man, stuck on his man. He scared a lot of the Chelsea wingers when he played them. And I think Goodmanson's been brilliant. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know in the comments down below. So number one, who is the number one Leeds United player so far this season? And it's the boy Joe Rodon at centre-back for me. He's made one mistake. I generally think in the consecutive 100 games he's played for Leeds United. Yes, you heard that correctly. 100 games in a row. I genuinely think he's made one mistake, and that was against Liverpool. Literally last week when he gave the ball away for their first goal. For me, his first name on the team sheet. He wins everything in the air. He's a brilliant ball-playing centre-back. He can play in a 2. He can play in a 3. And the amount of times he puts his head, his face, his arse, his balls on the line for Leeds United, I absolutely love Joe Rodon. I think, when we got him in on loan, I'm so glad we signed him up again. He was solid last year in the Championship. Again, he's not this world-class centre-back because Leeds United are 16th. But I think he does well in that back 3 and that back 2. For me, I think he's, again, not underappreciated, but I genuinely think he's our best centre-back. I think he's solid. I really love Joe Rodon. I think he's having another good season. He's just constantly giving you 7, 8 out of 10 every game. One game he might drop a 9 or 10. He's rarely dropping a 5 out of 10, Joe Rodon. I think he's, just for me, first name on the team sheet, always has been, always will. I love Joe Rodon. So the top 10, to go through it one more time. In 10 is Pascal Struijk, 9 Okafor, 8 Tanaka, 7 Stack, 6 Metcha, 5 Bogle, 4 DCL, 3 Ampadu, 2 Goodmanson, and number 1, Joe Rodon. Let me know your top 10 lists in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to smash that like button. Let's go for 250 likes. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheery. Oh.